Okay.
I know it's thinking
Oh,
really
you're
hard. Okay. Hey, it's Cody.
good?
Thank you for stopping to check out my channel. I wasn't sure if you were live, sorry. This is my friend Claire Goodchild of Black in the Moon, and she is here with me today, and we're going to talk about our year and a day uh, witchcraft, almost like restart, reset kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know Claire, you should. Black in the Moon, she has written 2 books. She has made what? Oh, I feel like it's a lot of decks.
100. 7? 5?
At least
I
100
don't
decks.
know.
107? What? Yeah. So, yeah, we're just on here a while back. It's about 6 months ago now. We made a video where we had decided, yeah, Jesus. We decided that we were going to, in in like the 90s and early 2000s, I think it's a Wiccan thing. And there was a thing where you practiced your witchcraft, you studied it for a year and a day before deciding if that's something that you really wanted to, have be part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did like a little initiation. I mean, I think technically it was like really more for like a coven, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't do that. I was like 11 or 12, and I just did that shit in my bedroom. So, um, but yeah, Claire and I were talking, and it was February, so that's about 6 months now. We're a little bit early from that, but yeah, we decided that we just kind of go back and uh, we kind of called it like amending the soil of our witchcraft or planting the seeds or something like that. It's basically just going back, looking at foundational kinds of stuff. And we had said we were going to do like an end of the year thing, how it went for us. But we figured that we could also do a little check in about halfway through. So, um, all right, so you can go.
I can go? Okay. Well, well, hold on. Let's back up a little bit. In case people just
That's fair.
watched this part, um, Cody and I know each other. Have known each other since 2015, I think. Is that right? Actually, it'd be like August 2015.
You know the date actually?
I think so.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, well, I don't know why I'm acting surprised. The chat, the Instagram chat, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was 2015.
Anyway, we've talked for literally every day for the last 9 years. Yeah. So that's how we know each other. And that's why we
Yeah,
decided to do this stupid thing together. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like last time we had notes and we had like ideas about how we wanted to structure it, but we don't this time.
I
Also,
remember some of them. So
is anyone even here? Because that'll make me feel a lot better if no one's here.
that was 5 people. So
5 people.
I
Great.
like honestly, I'm only doing this live because I don't know how to get. Because I live in the U.S., you live in Canada, so like there's not really a good way for us to do this if
Do
it's
this?
not live.
I
I don't know how
know.
else to do it. And not about. I'm not about to pay
Yeah.
for Zoom or some shit. Just
Also, also our
people
last.
in there saying hi. Oh,
See, I can't see it. Wait, can I? Oh, I can. Hi. um,
can't see.
I can see them now. Um, our last live went for like 3 hours, which we're not doing today because I only have 2
We're not
hours.
doing that.
um, well, should we like recap what our goals were? I don't even remember what my goals were. Well, I mean, I kind of do, but like not specifically what I said they were in the last one, so it might make no sense. But I think mine was just kind of finding like more structure, and yours was leaving structure in your practice. Like,
It did turn. I think we've talked about it, but I don't think we've talked about it on here because we didn't exactly know how we were going to approach it. We've kind of had opposite approaches. Okay, so part of my interest in like redoing this is because I feel like as a child doing, my foundations of witchcraft, I didn't do a good job knowing what I was doing. Like, and it feels like going back to it.
Me either. Well, because we were children.
Yeah, and the books were like books then were not like they are today. They're not going to explain everything to you. Like you would find a witchcraft book and it was always about Wicca and it just assumed you knew like a bunch of shit. So I just read things I had no fucking idea what they were even talking about, and I just picked out my little pieces that I could use. And honestly, like without the framework of really understanding what I was doing, like that was a wild start to it, honestly. Like,
yeah.
So our last live stream, we talked about like embarrassing tales of
we
what
did.
we did starting with. Some of it was
Is that your way of is that your way of getting me to tell my recent embarrassing thing? Bitch.
Your stories were good. Mine were so stupid.
Let's see. When I was little, my witchcraft would be like going to the park and then just like doing my own little rituals with the willow trees there with chamomile. Always chamomile because that was the tea my dad. Sorry about my tissue. That's really gross. I have COVID again. So you see me obsessively wiping my nose. That's why.
COVID, I'm like, we're doing a live stream.
No. But this is like my 5th time. So
yeah.
I just have to live, do things. Okay. So like I would raid my dad's like tea cabinet. And so all he ever had was chamomile. So I would like put it in my pocket and go to the park and then like scatter it around and say like a little rhyme around the willow trees or whatever. And so when we decided to do this like reconnection thing, I'm like, well, obviously I need to work with chamomile again because that was like my starting plant. And I was so excited because I grew some from seed this time, and like it was doing so well. And then I neglected it for like 2 weeks and now it's dead and I cried about it. So that's where I am in this halfway mark. I'm going to try and regrow chamomile, which it sounds so it sounds so stupid. Like, why don't you just go buy, a new plant or like it was so important for me, like my little child self to do it. And then like I still failed. So yeah, but our 1-year check-in, it'll be like, it died again. Like it just doesn't want to work with me.
Honestly, it's
yeah. As for like other places I am, like I'm still reading. I said last time that I was like buying a bunch of old books, like older, like Wiccan books and like pagan books from the 90s and 2000s. And I'm still doing that. And I've come to the conclusion that they are like, dated and slightly like embellished or like culturally appropriativeness aside, like those parts, like obviously we've changed as a culture. Those parts, like I aren't always up to, what's that term I'm looking for? Scratch. Anyway, they are better books than a lot of the ones out today because of that assumption that you do know things. So like if I come across something I don't know, now I have to actually go and investigate it. It's not just spoon fed to me. Like to books today, like not all of them, of course, there's like really good beginner books and stuff out there. But yeah, I have to actually do work when I'm reading them. And that's really important to me in like witchcraft, like actually doing stuff, because I've gotten so, I don't want to say lazy, complacent, I guess. That's like the right word. So I'm still doing that. And I'm trying to read as many of the older authors as I can, and like whatever I don't agree with, I just don't include, I just don't absorb it, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. What else? Yeah, just more structure. And then it was when I got lazy that my plant died. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of a pretty big sign that the structure was actually working for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Your
What about
lesson, right? Your chamomile shit.
I know. So annoying.
So you were talking about books, and I was thinking about how I think making everything, all the more recent, well, most of the more recent books are just, they're also beginner focused, that every single book has like 6 pages on casting a circle or, stuff like that. And it never gets deeper into the things because it's always like a surface level explanation for beginners. And I think the older books didn't do that. But also, like, there kind of needs to be an in between because I reread, I didn't grab it, but my stupid ass book I was mentioned, Divination for Witches or some shit. Fuck, it's by Calla Underhill. And it had different kinds of little like symbols you could paint on stones and cast, and
the box you never sent me. Yeah.
That box. My husband's supposed to be making a fucking box, okay? So I'll bitch at him today. But I'm telling you right now, like, sometimes I think I know things, and then I read a book like that. I'm like, what? I don't know I don't even know what this bitch is talking about right now. So it's just,
yeah,
I don't know shit about shit. And still now, I'm like, oh, I know a bunch of stuff about like different witchcraft things. And then I run into this, I'm like, what even is this talking? Like, I don't know if it's just crazy bullshit or if I just don't know as much as I thought I did. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I think that actually I interrupted you so bad.
No. I was gonna ask where you are in your current, check-in time. Anything embarrassing happened to you?
What are you trying to say? Every day of my life is a new embarrassment. Do you ever feel like that? It's just like, what? Yeah. I do 75% of it to myself anyway, but
oh yeah. Well, okay, have you had anything where you're like kind of have reverted back to your older, like pre-year in a day things, and then something like reminded you that, oh hey, my year in a day is working?
I haven't had something as straightforward as yours. But there have been times where, okay, I think that we talked about this in the last video, but like, I have just been going through motions for probably like 2 or 3 years before we started this. Like, I wasn't really, I don't know, delving into the things that I found. Like, I would do it either just, you still there?
Yeah, you're lagging a bit.
Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, you like froze and then your screen went black. I was like, oh my god, what just happened? Okay, my internet is fine, so I don't know what's going on. Are you
it might be mine.
There? Okay,
yeah,
I don't know what just
okay.
I think we survived, so
okay. What were you saying though? Because I missed like a bunch of it.
I can't tell you. I actually don't fucking remember now.
Don't make me spit out my water. Okay.
Yeah, I legit forgot what I was saying. Oh, then I was just going through motions. I would do like a tarot reading and I would write down, what I thought it meant. But here's the thing. Okay. Sometimes if I do reading about something that's like I'm actually upset about or like I'm emotionally invested in, I'm really good at removing myself actually from that situation. So I'll be like, here's this tarot reading. And I'm like, I don't know what this means. But like, I do fucking know what it means. But some part of me just like fucking rolls up the window in between like myself and what it's trying to say, like that's not helping me. I'm wasting my fucking time. Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And so I've really been trying to pay more attention to the cards and things. And then, okay, and this is like not quite off topic, but the fucking inner child work shit, man, that some of the worst things have happened to me since I started that. It's just really because I was like, while I'm going back and like paying more attention to actually the foundational things of witchcraft, like I was a child at that time, and there were just things that went on. Things just go on in childhood that you kind of have to take into account. Like you always have to contextualize everything. And so I was like, I could just do some inner child work along with this. Man, I actually had to back up from that because it was way too much. Like, you know, do you ever just repress horrible memories and then all of a sudden one day it just jumps out at you and you're like,
yeah, that's called trauma.
Yeah, I legitimately, I had to put away the Wisdom of Pooh tarot because I cannot keep doing this right now. Like, I gotta work out the shit that I got. It was fucking wild. So I kind of messed myself up doing that. I did stop doing it though because, okay, sorry. This was actually my answer to your question of was there something that I stopped doing or started doing? The problem is that I started adding a bunch of shit back in.
Too soon?
Like, yeah, like became overwhelming. Like inner child work, man, I was like, I'm gonna breeze through the shit. This is gonna be like part of it. No, that's not part of it. That's a whole other thing for me. So I did have to be like, you know, I've got too many things going on. I got to put some stuff back. And because when I first started this, I think we talked about how you're going to keep your ancestor practice, and I was going to keep up with my spirit stuff and the tarot practice. You know, I'm not going to like throw away everything really.
Right.
But yeah, and then I started adding shit back in. Like it was not the time for that when I'm supposed to be going back and, you know, rebuilding a firmer foundation. So,
yeah. Like you're like building a house, but you're already putting in like curtains before the walls kind of thing.
Literally. I'm like, these are my curtains.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I'm glad you did the child stuff because that is something that comes up like every 3 months and you're like, no, I'm going to ignore this. So that's good.
I have ignored it for my entire life.
As long as I've known you, you've ignored it. Okay. Which is
like,
fine. It's just your inner child work. Like, it's up to you, right?
Yeah. It's just
yeah, I think adding in too much can be okay. Well, I think I can only say this from like the ADHD perspective, in that like I'll be so excited about doing something, and I was like so ready for this year in a day, and like really into it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not into this anymore. My chamomile dies, blah blah blah, and now I've got like that hyper fixation back, so that's good. But yeah, just like forcing myself to do something, I think is forcing myself to do something I want to do is good for me rather than just doing it because I feel like I have to. So I don't really do the things that I felt like I had to do anymore. So that's like the biggest benefit, I think, for me, like at this 6-month mark. Like, oh, it's working and I know it's working and I also don't have to like do anything I don't want to do. Well, that's not true. I mean, I think witchcraft, you should do things you don't always want to do, not inner child work or anything. But like, you know, oh, I don't feel like doing this, like reading this chapter that I was going to read right now. Well, do it anyway, kind of thing. Like that kind of small sacrifice, I think, is good. Whereas like feeling like I have to do, I don't know, read 5 chapters in a book that I don't even like, I'm not going to do that anymore. Like it has to be a book I like or whatever. If that is making any sense at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I think there's a line between doing like terrible things and doing things that you just kind of don't feel like doing. Like sometimes I want to do something, but also I don't feel like doing it. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like just make yourself do it. Like that's rich.
I realize. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say from me that's like rich. Like I don't. I'm like the queen of
It's
not
rich
wanting to
from
do things. Okay, well, okay. I have a question. Do you have goals for the next half? Also, do you think looking at it as halves is too big and we should look at it in quarters? Maybe.
You know
Okay.
what? Probably.
Okay, so for the next quarter, what goals do you have then? Like what do you want to learn, or like where do you hope you are?
Okay, here's the thing.
We really should
I
have made a
learned
list.
that I kind of fucked myself up.
Mm.
No, okay. The problem that I did, okay, so when Claire and I first started doing this, she got a bunch of books that she had read. I started reading one book. I forced myself to finish it. And I was like, I'm not doing this shit anymore because, okay, you were going for more structure. But for me, I was going
for no structure.
I was doing like less because no structure at all. Get this shit out of here. I had just taken a bunch of things that I thought like I should be doing and trying to force myself to do them. And it wasn't like finish reading this chapter. It was shit like, I don't know. I've always like harbored this weird guilt that I don't care about herbs. Like I'm like, this witches do this. I have to do this. Or I have to, make teas, or I have to fucking like, I don't care about that stuff, but also it bothers me that I don't care. So I've spent several years, like not just recently, but trying to like make myself do that or feeling bad about it. Finally, I was like, I don't need to feel bad about something if I don't care about it. Like people are just out here doing different shit. I mean, I've got other things I'm working with,
Yeah.
But the lack of structure has been me in the ass a little bit because.
Yep. You good?
Oh my god, are you guys okay? There's like, I got this message about updates. I'm like, no, I'm not doing updates right now. So what I'm gonna be trying to do here. So I gotta have a little bit of structure. But okay, here's the thing. I kept some structure, but it was structure that was really far apart, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I used to do like every Sunday. Oh my gosh, I don't remember who it was now. Somebody used to post like every Sunday a little like 3-card tarot spread that you could do, and I would make a big deal of it. I would you alive?
Okay. Good.
I would make like little photocopies of the cards and glue them into fucking tarot journal and shit. And I just every Sunday I did it, and then I also did like a full moon and a new moon reading.
But you still
the problem is like I cut out those Sunday readings, so now I pretty much only do.
Sorry, I was gonna ask if you still do your new moon, and your full moon, but you answered it. Sorry, I like interrupted you for no reason.
Yeah, those are the only ones I do, and like
yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of fucked up. Like that's too far apart for me because I was feeling like every Sunday was too close,
too much.
But now it's like that's too far apart, and then I don't feel like doing it. So I literally have full moon and new moons that have passed, and I literally didn't even draw 3 cards for them. Like, what am I doing? So now I'm like, no, man, we got to go back. I need to put some of my things closer together because I like having that freedom. But yeah, so I guess my goal, I fucking hate the word goal, but like, and we talked about this it's almost like an undoing, right? Unlearning a lot of the things, like not necessarily that we even learned wrong, but things that maybe we didn't learn at all. But for me, I like to force myself. I revel in my own imposter syndrome. Like I'm not real, and I just wallow in this. I'm like, well, I'm not real because I don't do like these things or whatever. Like, I don't know.
You're gonna
I don't feel bad about it. Like I want to be.
No, you're gonna make me worry about the whole simulation thing again. So
Stop.
you are real. I'm gonna like be all nervous that we don't exist. Okay.
No, no, not that we don't exist. I do think that we don't exist, but I'm not saying that for this instance. I'm saying like imposter syndrome as in like, oh, I'm not a real witch. Like every once in a while, I'll literally draw a tarot card, and for some reason I don't know what the fuck it means. All of a sudden I'm like, I'm fake, and this is not like I'm not a tarot reader. Like what am I? What? But yeah, basically I need to put my shit closer together.
I think everyone has that. And people in the car are like, no, not everyone has that. But no, I think
Like,
everyone
you
does.
never notice it.
Yeah, you idiots. Not them, us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like I'll sometimes have to read my own guidebooks to know what a card I made means. And like I've written it like multiple times, right? Because you do like a rough draft, you have an editing process. Like, and sometimes I have to read my own guidebooks. So I don't think it's bad. Like I think that's normal. I mean, then again, I can remember like my childhood best friend's phone number, but I can't remember, a card I've looked at 50,000 times. Yeah. I think I've had, I don't know if I'd call it like undoing so much as I'd call it like accepting. Like you said it was too, sorry, my brain does this thing where it's like already thought about it. So like, I don't have to say it out loud. Okay. God damn it. Okay. So the way you feel like, oh, I don't care about herbs or whatever, right? Like for me, that's journaling. Like I need to accept that I'm not a journaler. Like I have 20 notebooks of ideas, like post ideas, card ideas. And the second I close that book, they don't exist, So like journaling does not benefit me in any way. Like if I put a notebook on a shelf, like it's gone forever and I will be like, oh shit, wasn't I doing like a journaling thing, and then I feel bad about it because I've forgotten completely about it. That and baths, like ritual baths, like not I bathe in case that, but like I am not at all into like ritual baths. Like I don't know why that's a big thing in our like community. I understand like washing your hands before doing stuff or like I use soap I make like in the shower for specific purposes, but like I do not want to sit in just a bowl of warm water for like ritual purposes. Like it does nothing for me. And like I used to feel so bad about it, like so just accepting that certain elements like aren't for me. Those are like really like silly, mundane one. I guess journaling's not silly. Like I was super jealous of people who like you who can like journal like your cards and everything, but it is like not for me. I'm like that person who buys a planner at the beginning of the year and I'm like, I'm going to write in this and everything is going to be great. And then like a month in, I remember that I have ADHD. Like stop buying planners. Like, 'cause it's that kind of thing. Like stop, like what kind of other things that aren't as silly as like bathing? I don't even know. Like there are things that other witches do that like I just cannot seem to make myself care about at all. And I think not feeling bad about it anymore is my Canadian accent is coming out very strong. So sound more normal. Okay.
Don't do that here.
A boot.
So Kelly Bear has a comment. I don't know if you could. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What?
Who has a comment?
Kelly Bear has a comment. She says, "I sure." Kelly Bear. I sure do get imposter syndrome with my witchcraft and my tarot practice. Despite practicing on and off for over 25 years, I think the fact that I'm inconsistent and memory issues doesn't help. She also says I do virtual showers. I cannot be asked to do the baths. I fucking hate baths. But okay, I want to say that maybe the memory issues are part of it because I literally can't remember shit. I don't know what's going on around me ever. Like,
well,
it makes me. I think actually this was an amazing breakthrough. If I can't remember shit, then obviously I can't be like. I don't know if I can explain it, but no. And yeah, I've been doing witchcraft for what? What the fuck is 36 minus 11? Oh, it's 25. Too fucking long. Like, so long I don't even remember the beginning of it anymore, apparently. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You know, sometimes I wish like that I could. Oh no, am I supposed to do inner child work? Because I was just gonna say like I wish I could go back and like tell my younger self like explain concepts to my younger self. Oh, I don't want to do I don't want to do inner child work.
Yeah,
like I just not right now. I can see why I'm like always on you to do yours, and now I can see why it just sucks.
Like, I was just gonna say you were just bitching at me. You're over here running for your. You can run, but you can't hide for that shit. That's the problem.
I know. Ugh. Yeah.
Okay.
What? Oh, right. So, okay. Other than your unlearning stuff, what other goal do you have for the next quarter? Like, is there anything that like? Is there any milestone? Well, no. See, you're being less structured, so I can't really. Well, I'll ask anyway. Is there any like milestone that you can like picture where you think like, okay, now I know I've made progress? Or is it just like when I get there, I'll get there? Am I speaking
I plan
English?
my life out one day at a time, so I don't do that stuff. Like, my goal today is to survive until tomorrow morning, and I'll figure it out then. Like, I'm bad with shit like that.
Yeah.
But okay, what about you though? Because you are a person that like has goals. Like you will set a thing that you want to do and try to do it. I will vaguely think to myself, I want to do this thing. It's always something fucking ridiculous, and then I forget about it 2 hours later. But like,
yeah.
Do you have milestones? Do you have things you're sure?
Yeah, I think so. Last time I said that like the Sabbats were very important to me this time around. And I think for me, if I actually take the time to do something on every single one, or, then I know I'm on the right track. And so far, I've been pretty good about it. I also had a goal for the SBATs, but I have not been as good about that. So I think I need to like figure that out for the next quarter. Yeah. I'm also I said I was like dropping astrology for the whole thing. That like, because it's such a big part of me that it was bleeding into things, and I was like making decisions only based on that, and I wanted to make more decisions based on like other factors, that are connected, like moon phases and days. Like I wanted to go back to those like simple foundational kind of principles, which are still attached to astrology. Like they're inspired by astrology, but it was just like bleeding into everything. And now I'm kind of bringing astrology a little bit back, but I think in a way that doesn't interfere as much with, mostly just being more aware of retrogrades, like just in case I do decide to cast something and it doesn't go the way I wanted. Like I don't want that to be like a discouraging thing, like, oh, it didn't work exactly. I can be like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, so like it's a little bit the delivery might be different. So keeping that kind of stuff in the back of my mind is fine. But when it becomes a thing of, oh, I'm not going to cast it all because it's Mercury retrograde, like that is a problem. So trying to find that balance, I think, is important. What other goals do I have? On it, yeah, just consistency, like being like not letting my chamomile die, and like doing proper offerings that, like, my ancestor work I do every day, not a problem, I'm consistent, but like trying to go back to the foundation with like deities and other beings, or like house spirits, stuff like that. Like I have to learn to get consistent with that again, because I got very complacent. So I'd say that's a goal. And not doing too much. So I think I'm going to cap it there. Like that should be it. Whereas my brain is like, no, but we can also do this and we can like blah, blah, blah. But I think it's important for me to like have a routine first and then bring on more, versus hyper fixating on everything and anything. Yeah. Did I even answer the question? Yes, I think so. Oh, man. So it's very hot in here. So if I'm like moving around a lot,
those are like real tangible things.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doable. I just have to do them. Easier said than done. Yeah. Do you have any others?
I've just been trying to be more consistent with things, but like I won't know. Like I don't have a signpost for like when I'm gonna be there. Like you have actual specific things that you want to do. I'm just like, I don't know, which is horrible and ridiculous. I live my entire life that way, and then I'm always like, why is my life not working out like I want? But I never plan anything, so I just end up like I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing or where I'm going. And like, okay, part of this has been like going back and looking kind of at like why am I even doing this? Like what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? Not that I thought that I was going to stop doing witchcraft, but I think it's good for me to sort of evaluate like why I'm doing what I'm doing, like what am I hoping to get out of this sort of. And I don't actually know. Like I kind of a sense of fulfillment, or like feeling like I'm part of something larger. I have my little spirits that are real to me. Okay, no matter what anybody else says. One thing I've been doing though, which is kind of embarrassing, and I was gonna already started. So here we go.
Yay! I love when you say
like,
embarrassing stuff.
Happened lately? I'm like, no. Anyway, here's this embarrassing story. Why? Why? You just caught me at one of the most embarrassing things ever the other day. Almost killed Tegan over it. I think she was in the chat anyway.
I know, it wasn't even like
I'm not telling that story right now.
It wasn't her. It's like because I have eyes and can read, so I just figured it out. Like it was so obvious.
You chopped out. What shit did you just say?
Yeah, it wasn't. Tegan said nothing. Tegan said nothing to me about that.
You're like frozen.
No.
Tegan, I'm sorry. I threatened to send you anthrax. Said to her, she's like, "Oh, I would never say anything. Deny away." I was like,
okay, like no one had to tell me because I have eyes and I could tell it was you immediately.
Okay. Okay, this is not witchcraft related, but it's super embarrassing and we're already fucking into it. I have a secret. I have a secret shit posting page. It has nothing to do with tarot or witchcraft yet. I'm sure you won't bleed into that. But I got caught by one person on the same day. Okay, a TikTok page, but if somebody doesn't have TikTok and they only have Instagram, you can't send them a TikTok like in a group chat, because if they click on it, it takes them to TikTok. So there were like 2 people that were aware of this page. So, but one of them didn't have TikTok. So I was like, let me go ahead and just set this up as an Instagram page. And you can, if it's my post, I can share it to like the Instagram feed. What I should have done was blocked everybody that I knew, but I didn't do it. And it came up. And you're like, is this you?
Like, of course, yeah, it came up as a like person you may know. I'm like, I knew right away it was you. Like, I have talked to you every single day.
I told it not to fucking sing. Okay. Oh my god.
God. Like,
you know,
it was very obvious.
That like fundamentally changed me as a person, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well just like post them on your main page, because like it's very obvious that you are the creator of these posts. God.
I have shared some to my stories, and people are always like,
what the fuck is
my
this?
12-year-old daughter, Juno, found one of the TikToks, and she sent it to me.
Oh my god.
She's like, that was me. She's like, this seemed like something you would think was funny. And I was like, yeah. Because I fucking made it. So fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, like, so the live stream's now like empty. Everyone's like, what the fuck are they talking about? Cody's embarrassing. That's basically the like.
There's more people here than ever. They want to hear about this.
Ooh. You should tell them what it's about. I won't, but you should. They literally will not care. Like, I don't know why you're worried about it.
I don't know if I'm ready for this level of fame. The TikTok page is doing pretty well, actually. So maybe you can fuck off.
You become like,
I'm not going to tell you the fucking name, but it's what?
You're gonna be like one of those like big influencer pages, like just randomly. Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah. Shut that shit down so fast.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed for you, but like not in a bad, not like, you know, you know, it is what it is.
I cannot believe it. I didn't send that to everyone. There's probably 500 people that fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, if you click it, you know it's you, like literally. Like you talk about this topic constantly. Yeah.
I don't think most people would know. Okay, one person saw one of the memes and knew. They were like, I know this is exactly the thing that you, the kind of thing you would say. I'm like, no, it isn't. I would never think of it.
Tegan wants to know how I can be embarrassed for someone in a good way.
Because you said that you. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I'm losing hair over this. You said that it made me feel like I was a human. First of all,
embarrassed in a good way, like now you don't have to, like, I'm embarrassed for you because it's embarrassing, but you don't have to hide who you are anymore. That's good. So yeah, that's what I know. I'm just trying to be nice.
Okay, sorry about this little intermission here. We'll get back to the witchcraft in a minute. I'm just gonna fucking admit it, because my husband found me out literally that fucking day. I had one person was like, this looks like something you would make. And I was like, it's not. And then you were like, hey, did you make this fucking page? And I was like, no. Okay. I was sitting there and my husband was coming home from work and I was trying to think about what I'm doing with my life. Because of this situation, like, first of all, like, what am I doing at all? I have a witchcraft page that ultimately like started out as shit posting too. And like, is it actually not shit posting anymore? I can't even tell. And okay, I had made, oh my God, I'm trying to think of words to enclose this. I had made a meme. Okay, do you know the painting? Fuck, I forgot who it's by. And it's called truth coming out of her well to shame mankind. And I it's like this naked lady like crawling up out of a well to shame mankind. And I had taken used some audio that we won't get into. And I taken a like rectangle of a man's hairy chest and put it over the titties because for censorship. And I had taken I had cut out Hosier's head with like his hair and put it on top of the fucking head so it looked like it was him crawling out of the well. Something about Hosier climbing out of the well, coming up out of his well to shame mankind. And the audio with it was like before he sings a specific song, he did like this whole like political speech. Okay, so I had my stuff up and I was like, I need to delete this shit off my phone before Tyler, like my husband, looks at this. And instead what happened was I literally had the picture of Hosier's head up on my phone with like the little checkerboard background where it had been cut out. And I left my phone on the table and my husband was like looking for his phone. I was like, just grab my phone and call it. And that was up. He's like, what is this? I was like, oh my fucking God. He got pissed at me because I blocked him from the TikTok page, first of all. He's like, why did you block me? He said he didn't even care. He's like, you always make stupid bullshit like this. I'm like, you understand, this one right here is actually my magnum opus and the greatest thing I've ever made. But anyway, that specific one told 2 people it was me, and then you saw the fucking thing. So that
like, first of
all, oh my
all,
God, you're frozen. I can't.
Is it better?
Are you there?
Yes.
Yes,
I am there.
Can hear you, but you're like frozen.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Anyone who's ever interacted with you at all knows you're obsessed with Hosier. Like, that's not a secret. So, like, it's very obvious it's you because, you know, like, it's a caption you would write on your regular page. So, and I like how it was like, what am I doing with my life? And you decided this, Tegan, does this answer your question about why I'm embarrassed for her? She said, what am I doing with my life? And then does this. So, but like,
that's what I was doing.
Obviously,
I'm like, is this worth the embarrassment? I decided
like, obviously
yes, it was, actually,
it makes you happy, right? It makes you happy.
I don't even know, man. Like, it's simultaneously embarrassing to post anything, and also like I've made friends. So embarrassing.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, that was Okay, so can you tell me something?
No, yeah. Okay, so embarrassing witchcraft thing though. Now that the top embarrassing thing has come out.
That is not the top embarrassing thing you've ever done.
What was worse? What?
I bet you can beat that in like 2 weeks, like something else.
Oh, but it will be on that page. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to be a separate. Hi
Kendra. I don't have a YouTube because I actually don't like being on video.
You can just do like your eyes or something.
I know the irony because I'm sitting here on video. But yeah, like it's easier when I have someone else, you know. I feel weird about talking to a camera, like just by myself. I don't know. It makes sorry. Witchcraft embarrassing things. Tell me something.
Yeah. Okay. It's the admission of this that's embarrassing. It's not okay. When I was a kid, before I read there's this episode of SpongeBob, and I've probably fucking mentioned this before. And in fact, it was probably in conjunction with this. The episode of SpongeBob is where SpongeBob is really, really good at drawing. And he's Squidward sees it and is pissed. He says, well, you're not doing it right. He's jealous because SpongeBob is really good at it with no training. So he says, you don't know what you're doing. You have to take this class with me and I'll teach you the right way to do it. So then SpongeBob goes to Squidward's class and he's doing all of the steps and everything the right way. And it fucks him up so he can't do it anymore. And I think about that SpongeBob episode a lot because that's like a running theme in my life is I'll be kind of like okay at doing something and then all of a sudden I run into like how to do it right and then it doesn't work anymore.
Mhm.
And it got me thinking about like appropriate avenues for witchcraft or like you know there's just kind of accepted ways that people would get like at spirit communication, for example, right? I mean, people be like, you could use a pendulum, you could, you know, draw cards, you could, um, I don't know, scry. When I was little, okay, I have this spirit that I've had. I was 5 or under because I know the house that I lived in, I moved from when I was 5. I call him Dear Guy, which is kind of rude, but I don't know what else to fucking call him. He's not like Carnunos or anything, but it is a dude with antlers. And when I was little, I used to be afraid of like monsters in my closet. And he ended up, okay, see how I just said he ended up? That's weird. And then something else showed up, which was this dude with antlers. And he would be under my bed and like keep me safe from them. So, okay.
Mhm.
But music has always been a really big part of my life. So okay, god damn, this is going to sound insane. I used to do these things where I would sing all by myself in my room. No idea what it sounded like. And like the point is that it really doesn't matter what it sounds like. But it was like channeling. Like if if you're a musician, I think that can kind of happen to you. But I was little. I was a little kid and I would just do this weird bullshit. It would also go along with like maybe some kind of almost ecstatic dance or like movement or something. I don't know, man, but it was almost a way I would like hollow myself out for this to come through, if that makes sense. Like it was more similar maybe to like automatic writing. I did that all the like probably an unhealthy amount of weird bullshit. And I still do that some, but I've been doing it more lately, which is fucking insane.
No.
It's hard with like husband and kids here because it's like summer. When they go back to school, I can go back to doing this bullshit. But like, I literally, okay, this is fucking insane. But I will wander around my house just singing absolutely bizarre shit. One time, Claire, I sent you this absolutely batshit video of myself singing something. I was gonna send it to Tyler, but then I was afraid he had a patient die. My husband works in the hospital. I was like, what if he just had a
I
patient
just laughed
die?
at that. Sorry.
Me?
Oh, I'm a horrible person. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Wait, you what?
You're like, I was worried someone would die and I like burst out laughing. I'm terrible.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Keep going.
Oh god, yeah. I was like, this. So I sent it to you instead because if people start sending me too many messages, they start getting bizarre bullshit. It's like similar to just fucking, like it's like singing, but you're not in there. Like it doesn't even matter what it fucking sounds like. I don't know. Probably other people do this, right? I don't think I've ever seen somebody else mention this, but it is a thing that I have done, on and off, and like. But it's embarrassing to admit, which is weird because like people do ecstatic dance and they act like that's fine, right? This is an accepted method. So like I don't know why it would be, you know, that singing or doing the same thing through a different avenue. So I felt really weird about doing that. And I remember reading in my book and I didn't see it in any of the books in the library or anything. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So I turned to more like automatic writing, but that's a thing I've been trying to kind of bring back in my practice because it was a thing that worked for me, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't know, man. I need to be banishing embarrassment from my shit. Usually I'm not embarrassed, but lately I've just been fucking having a time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably just because, you know, your husband and kids are around, right? Like, I have the luxury of being by myself almost all the time, you know, and especially because Dave's back at work now, right? So, like,
Yeah.
I do embarrassing shit all day, although I do sometimes worry. So I worry about like really, I worry that like someone, this is gonna make me sound crazy, that someone's put like hidden cameras in my apartment. So sometimes I'll have like that weird fear, but I also worry like, so you know how I'm getting like all my tattoos removed?
Mm-hmm.
So the real reason is I don't like them, whatever. But like a few weeks ago, I was telling Dave like that part of the This is gonna make me sound crazy, but this is kind of the stuff I worry about. I've been watching a lot of Outlander, so I was like, well, part of the reason why I want to remove them is what if I accidentally go back in time and then like people see these tattoos and like I get caught. Like it's like something I actually worry about. Like it's so stupid. Or so like I do I'm embarrassing in that way. Like my brain is embarrassing, but I'll still do my like ritual stuff, around the house because like I have the freedom to. Yeah. Oh, God, I think such like crazy shit sometimes. Like just like stuff no one should be worried about. And like it's very obvious that I have anxiety disorder. Like I also like the barn where I ride horses. Sometimes I think about which horse I would steal or which would be best to steal during the zombie apocalypse. Like which one is not going to be like afraid? Which one is trained well enough? Like this is what I worry about because like I know how to drive, but I don't drive. It's not something I do. So like, well, I have to get around on horseback and I can avoid the road. So like I think about this stuff. Like it's a real concern of mine for some reason. Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, if you had a car and the world is ending, okay,
you're going to be in traffic, right?
Where are you going to find gas? Like a horse can just eat some plants somewhere, but it's like you can stop at a gas station, really. No, a horse is a fantastic idea, and I love it.
But also, like, gas goes bad eventually. I think it has like so. Plus, like, zombies are everywhere, and like the road is going to be gridlock. So it just makes sense to me, like, to worry about this.
Yeah, which horse? Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh wait, I can't think of any examples right now, but no, I do that shit all the time.
Okay.
And it's like I know for a fact this is a thing that would never happen. Like I worry about the red spot on Jupiter because it's
I know you
3 times the size of the fucking Earth. Like what in fuck? That is horrible. I think about it a lot. I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you've always been afraid of Jupiter. So weird. I mean, I'd be personally a little bit more afraid of Earth, but
I'm already Jupiter. But I feel like a hurricane made of like ammonia. That's just me.
Yeah.
But no, my singing shit, like I'm a belter and I'm pretty fucking loud. Like I'm worried about the neighbors because like the neighbor on one side of me is not very far away, and one of these days he's gonna be like, "What are you doing over here?" Like, but I can only.
You're a good singer, though, so like it's less embarrassing.
No, because me being aware of what I'm doing is a whole different situation. Like, if somebody else is here, I can't do my weird bullshit like that. Like, I can't get into that space, even if it's just my kids. Like, I can't just be. I'll sing shit, but I'm still aware of what's happening. Like, it will purposefully be a song. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, my singing shit, I will just start out like it won't come from a song. And like, I don't even necessarily get messages from it. It was just a connection. It was almost like a grounding or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, I've been trying to do that more. When the kids go back to school, then I can really fucking go ham. But like right now, I can't. But and like I feel like I close that door for myself by being like, this isn't like appropriate communication technique or something, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to remember things that I was doing as a kid, and the automatic writing I haven't really been doing lately. Like I don't do a circle. I do not cast a circle.
I know. I think we talked about that last time.
People hate that, and I'm not going to do it now either. At first when we started this, I was like, I think I'm going to start like casting a circle and doing things correctly, like by the book. And I think, like you said, that we kind of have to move away from like what I don't know what
you
just
feel
knowing
you have to do. Yeah. I like doing circles, and I stopped doing them, but I'm doing them again, but only because it makes me slow down and think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with like invoking pentagram. I stopped doing that years ago. Now I'm like, okay, well, which way do I want to start it? And that helps me. Like that's to me like grounding kind of structure. Yeah. But yeah, I can see like if something works. So part of okay, this is going to sound like a rant, but it's not really. And like I don't think there's a fine line between like the right way of doing something and like I think a big problem with social media is people either do no research into like what they're actually doing, which is bad, or people are too strict in like, well, if you're doing it this way, you're wrong. Or like the best example I have is like, oh, you celebrate the Sabbats, you know, those are like made up Wiccan things. Like some are based in real holidays. Like literally everything is made up. Everything.
Yeah.
All branches of witchcraft are made up. You know, like that doesn't mean that you should get like, you know, authentic history wrong or like, you know, but you can tweak things to suit you and you know, it's all made up. Everything is made up. So we have to find that balance. I think social media is really bad at finding that balance. You know, like, and I don't know, maybe lately, like I feel a little bit ostracized, I guess, like by the Instagram community, or like, oh, I'm not doing it this way. So am I doing it right? When I know for myself that I do research things and I do like take the time to really think about the process behind something. So I need to like stop worrying about that kind of stuff. I mean, the other thing, what's another good example? Like the threefold law. Like whenever you see that come up anywhere, you'll have people who are like, only believe in the threefold law or don't at all believe in it. Like, whereas I'm more of a middle ground. Like I kind of believe in it and I kind of don't. Like, and that's fine. Like I think I need to accept that part as well. Like I'm not going to stop believing in it because someone told me it's like a Wiccan thing and not everyone's Wiccan. Like I know I'm not a Wiccan either, you know, but it, to me, like it's that sort of like, what was I even talking about? Oh, right. Like if you read something that puts you off doing something that worked for you, like with your dance and singing, channeling. I think that's important for me too, like to not do, like don't let other people influence me too much. If they're correcting me on something that like is factually, you know, that's different. That's not what I mean. I just mean the people who like decide this is the way and that's the only way. Like, well, my way's different, but kind of thing. Like a balance.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, Tegan says here, agreed, social media is in a state of such extremes lately. In particular, it's put me off sharing on public platforms massively. I have been taking several steps back from social media. I really haven't been on very much, or if I get on, I'm just sharing like fucking memes in the stories or just a photo. But like I'm not. I've unfollowed a bunch of accounts lately. I'm just, and it's not necessarily anything. Well, no, it is personal, but like I'm just doing my thing, and like I don't know. Yeah, it's exhausting. And it's not even like I've had any like situations where people are like, "Oh, you're not doing this right" or whatever. It's just every fucking hot take factory. I hate threads. The only thing anybody ever fucking posts there is hot takes, and like I don't know, man. It's exhausting. I'm just trying to have fun, okay?
Really? See, I don't get
serious and angry political things. That I do that too.
My threads isn't too hot take kind of thing, but I think that's because I just don't engage with them in general. Like I just never have really. So that's not been an issue on my threads. But like sometimes I wish like I could take a step back from social media, but like I can't. Like, it's not like I don't have that luxury, unfortunately, which sucks.
Well, it's one of those things where you can post without necessarily scrolling through and looking what everybody else is saying, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I have like I have notifications for Instagram totally turned off. So like I have to physically like go open it. So that's, you know,
Yeah.
one thing, but like I can't. Yeah, Instagram is exhausting now. Like it used to be fun. When we met it was fun. And yeah. But I like want to figure out a way to make it enjoyable for myself. So I'm just going to start posting whatever I want, you know. And if people don't like it or they tell me it's wrong, well, they can get blocked. I don't care. Like I'm at that place. Like, oh, fuck. I used to. Sorry, I just hit my hand on a fan blade like an idiot. I forgot it was there. I used to like worry, like, oh, if I block this person, blah. Like I don't care anymore. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did everyone leave like after our shit posting conversation?
No, there's 11 people still here, and there have been for a while, so they're into it.
Nice. Are they into it, or are they just like they
They're like,
have
this is
anything
a
else to do? Oh man. Okay.
Posting is my first love, and I've been thinking a lot about how like being more like vulnerable and like personal and serious on Instagram is like it's not fun to me anymore. Like,
no.
There have been times where I've been a lot more personal, and then I'm like, ew, what am I doing? And then I'll post fucking 6 memes in a row on my actual like feed. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna start doing that again. Like it's some of it's getting too serious. Like I don't know. I don't think I ever see like a social media post that I'm upset about later kind of thing. Like I don't think about it outside of that. But when I'm scrolling on Instagram, I think I've mentioned this before, is I have to ask myself, am I happy or am I having fun right now? Because I'm bad at like knowing how I feel. Like I know if I'm pissed off, but if I'm like, am I enjoying myself right now? I have to stop and ask. Which is but like, am I enjoying this? Like, I spend 2 hours a day scrolling at this fucking app. Is this enriching my life? And the answer is usually no. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. And you know what? I think that has to do with the formation of the other shit posting page. Is because I'm not using my page for shit posting like I used to. I cry laughed while I was making that fucking truth climbing out of her well to shame mankind. I laid on my bed and kicked and felt like a beetle that got flipped over like coffee. Nobody liked it. Nobody got it. I literally don't care because you know what? I love it. It's the greatest thing I've ever fucking made. So it's it's one of those things where like, yeah, I gotta. Sometimes I start taking myself seriously. Do you know what I mean? And I gotta stop doing that. Even within my fucking witchcraft practice, because I'm like, I don't want people to like know the things I'm doing. What? The power of joy, Tegan says.
Cody doesn't know how to identify feelings except rage.
What is literally, I do not. Am I happy right now?
No. Yeah. I have a question. Have you thought about what sort of initiation you want to do on day 366?
You know, I was planning on asking you that, and then it kind of got away from me there. No, I haven't.
Great. I haven't either, so I was hoping you had thought of something. Like I thought maybe doing something like similar to what I did with my little willow trees when I was little. But like a more adult version, you know, like where I actually understand what I'm doing. But other than that, like I haven't thought about it too much. I will say that like some positives have been like I'm making my own like things again, like my own spell components, which I really like. And then like that's been fulfilling because since you can't buy anything like small batch, I always have leftovers. So now I can sell those and other people like them. So that has been really nice to like do that part, like the actual work again, whereas I was not doing work. For a while. It felt like I was just buying stuff and it's sitting there like, oh, I plan to use this. But by the time it arrived, I had moved on to something new and I didn't care about it anymore because having ADHD is the best, you know?
Yeah.
So I now like I buy something, I make it, I'm going to use it. And like not the reason why then I'm selling the extras because not everyone can make things or they don't, you know, have the money to buy 50 bottles. They can only buy, you know, so it just makes more sense to buy it from someone else. That's different. That doesn't mean they're not doing the, sorry. Okay. That doesn't mean they're not doing the work. I just mean for me specifically, like if I had like purchased an oil from someone else for candles, because candles are like a major part of my practice, like no matter what. By the time I get it, I've actually ended up using something else because I'm impatient and I want to do it now. So that part has been good, like being able to just make my own stuff again. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, another thing is other than like the Witch Sister Tarot, the Weavers, and maybe like the Fairies Oracle, like I'm not using, like I'll use like some other decks, but I'm basically only using my own again, which is really nice too, like my own creations, which feels good. Because for a while there, like I didn't even want to look at them, which is something no one warns you. Like when you make decks, like no one warns you that you're going to be so sick of your own stuff and like you feel like such an outsider in your community that you don't even want to use your own creations. And like the whole point was you created them originally for yourself. Well, at least I did, like, because it wasn't a big thing back then.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Like that makes me feel like that little kid who like just discovered Wicca or whatever. Again, I like that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about that discovery.
Yeah, like that. Remember when we first like were talking to each other and it was like very serendipitous. Like it was the excitement of realizing that like not just that we had the same exact thought on the same like day, basically. But that like we got to learn things all over again and actually understand them better as we're learning them. Though if this live stream is used as evidence, it will look like we learned nothing. But like I think we have learned some stuff.
I barely learned anything.
Yeah. What else?
So do you have more books that you're planning on reading for this next quarter?
Yeah. I'm trying to reach over this little fan so I don't decapitate my arm. Cut off my arm. So I bought a bunch of these from like thrift books, like old school. Of course, it's mirrored. So Living Wicca by Scott Cunningham, who's like, I think every like witch, Wicca or not, knows who this is. So that's one. It was published in 2000. So it's like one of those really like old school, you know, books, like the ones that we would have learned on originally. And it's just like a regular like solitary guide. And like I'm not taking the Wicca stuff. Some of it actually, because some of it I like, but other, like, I'm just taking little things that maybe I've forgotten. And there's also suggested reading for every single chapter, which is amazing. So like every topic that he wrote about, he also put a list of books where you can like explore it further, which is awesome. Like you don't just have to look at the bibliography at the back, you know, like these
Yeah.
are books that like one of the
Yeah.
original authorities thought was worth mentioning. So that's kind of cool. And then this one I just got, but confession time, I never read Doreen Valiente like when I was younger. I don't know why. I just didn't. So I picked up one of her books. I'd say she's just from like look, like I haven't had a chance to really dive into it. I know like the history about her. And it does seem slightly, it's like an advanced beginner, not just beginner kind of thing. So that should be interesting. And then this one is the best money I have ever spent, and it is The Witch's Workbook by Anne Grammary. Yeah, there is so much shit in here that is so interesting. Some stuff dated, of course, but like any old book is gonna be like that. It's from,
I've never heard of it.
I think you'd really like it. It's published in 1973, so it's like, you know, one of the original. And it's just like very hands-on. Like it has like this reminds me of your box thing, right? Like, you know, so things like that. Like this kind of stuff. And there's a lot about like glyphs and stuff, which I'm really interested in lately. And like spells as well. It doesn't shy away from like baneful things either, like to curse an enemy. Actually, that's another pet peeve of mine. Like, if people, like it's just there. Like it's you miss cursing people. It's available to you if you want to do it, but it also doesn't
when
make
it was
like,
okay.
it doesn't make it so it's the only
like,
option.
It didn't used to be such a like, oh my god, you'll never curse anyone kind of thing. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, but I think the opposite
it's not a conversation
can be bad too, though. Like if your first reaction is baneful working, you know, like I don't think that's great either.
Oh yeah.
But this book seems to like be balanced. So those are the three that like I gonna explore. And also it's gonna sound so narcissistic, and that's fine. I'm rereading my own books because I need to remember what I wrote. No, more like so I can reconnect to that part that was excited when I wrote my books. Does that make sense? Like, because there's so many things in there that are foundational to me that I've stopped doing them. And it's almost like once I put them onto the paper, it like went out of me and onto the paper. And so like now I'm trying to, sounds crazy, but I'm trying to reabsorb it by reading my own.
No, not at all.
Oh yeah. It's a little weird, but I think that like using my own decks is the same kind of thing. Like I'm trying to reabsorb them. Do you have any?
It's kind of one of those things where, like, if you made it, obviously it's the kind of thing that's going to work for you.
Yeah. It's like an extension of me.
You just froze. I talked and I didn't realize you were talking.
It's okay. And
that it is something that worked for you. Well, like whether you shared it with like other people or not, it's kind of a separate thing. But yeah, I think everyone's magic is just different in the way they access it and the way that it works. And I feel like I spent a lot of time trying to like make myself do the things that other people were doing, and I got to stop doing that because I'm limiting myself by being like, oh, I can't do that because that's a weird thing, or
Yeah. Well, so you told me yesterday you don't have any books, but do you actually not have any books other than the divination one?
I have not read any more books. Like I almost picked one up, and then I was like, you know what though, like, okay, but when you were talking about like how our goals or approach has shifted, and my approach has shifted a lot in that I don't know how to fucking explain this. Like I know what I need to do, and I have to like remind myself that it's okay to do that. Just because I had a practice, kind of like a weird childish practice, but I did have one that worked just fine for me, you know, before I found the witchcraft books and stuff. And like sometimes like making content on the internet makes it feel weird because it's like people want to hear about certain things, or you know what I mean? Like I just don't do a lot of those things, or you know, I don't know. And maybe it's okay, I guess, if my stuff doesn't align with what other people are currently doing or into, or you know, the way it's being approached right now. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it makes me feel like people want to know about like what I think of certain things or something. Like sometimes I literally just don't have any thoughts about something, or I have to even look it up to see what it is. Like I don't know, just weird vibes all around. I need to like back up from it.
I think so. That made me think of my one headphone just died. Sorry. I have another one. It's okay. It makes me think about how so social media has been like really good for witchcraft and like making it accessible to people, blah blah blah. But I think that it's also made it so people aren't doing their own workings and whatnot. It's almost like the urge or that like desire to do a working is satisfied by watching someone else do one in like a weird way, because that's when I got kind of lazier, like when it really, like especially with reels in particular, when those started to get really really popular. And like I like using them for teaching and stuff. Like I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I don't use them. Of course I do. Like I have to. It's my job. But there's people don't want to do the work anymore, and it's because they feel that sense of like accomplishment or that dopamine hit because they've watched someone else do it. And I don't think it's conscious. Like this is the first time I've even thought about this concept. So I'm sure like I'll evolve and have deeper thoughts on it at some point. But yeah, like even myself, like, oh, I watched someone do like a Sabbath something. It's almost like I've done it myself. I know I haven't, but there's that satisfaction of a job well done, but I didn't do anything, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit of a problem that I need to sort out. It went from like seeing them for inspiration or learning something for me as well, and then not acting on it. So yeah, acting on it is a big part of what I need to do. I don't know. Does anyone else feel that way? Like do you feel that way? Like you weird self like accomplishment from not doing anything? Like from seeing it, like, oh, I did this, but you didn't do it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, we're here and here, and but yeah, no, I do know exactly what you're saying. I know that. Yeah, I've barely done anything for any of the little Wheel of the Year holidays or anything. Like I don't do them under their name specifically. It's really more just like seasonal changes for me. But like if I watch somebody else make bread for like Lunasa coming up, I'm just gonna be like, well, that's done.
Yeah. Bread is
So,
baked.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
glad I'm
yeah,
not.
bread's baked, yellow candles on the altar. You know what I mean? All that shit. It just, I
Yeah.
thought it's good enough.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone there. Like, and like I still share
My
mine.
daughter
Like I'm
making a video instead of practice.
I mean that's the same kind of thing, right? Like, yeah. Well, I've done the, tutorial, so now I don't actually have to do it for myself. Like I think that part is what is missing from
Yeah.
online spaces, maybe. Um yeah. I mean, all of
Yeah.
this, there's like a balance too. Like it's hard for me to say as a person who makes their living selling things, like that's my job, like selling these tools for you to use is my job. um and
Mhm.
obviously like I need them to buy them, but I need you to use them too, like not just buy them and have them sit there. Like you actually then have to do the second part. You have to use them. So if I
Won't
release a
be a
new
photo
card,
prop.
use it, read
Yeah.
with it. Like, that actually brings me to like a little deck pet
Yeah.
peeve. Since you're a tarot channel, maybe people can appreciate this, but like, I want your deck to be so scuffed, so bent, ugly. Like, use it. Stop handling them with like kid gloves. Like, use your deck. It's a tool, like
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, and then I understand like because they're expensive and like you don't want them to be damaged and stuff, but like if you think about cost per, this is some girl math, but if you think about cost per use, like my deck is about 69 Canadian dollars. If you use, I use mine every day. I go through one or two a year, so like cost per use is pretty low. That's not just a way for me to also then start selling right now to people like, oh, see, use up your deck and then buy another one from me. It's not that, but it's made to be used. Like it's not just made to sit on your shelf. Though if you're a collector, like that's different. Like I know some people are passionate about collecting, so don't come for me. I know that already. Um, but like I want, nothing makes me happier than when I see someone like post a card of mine they pulled and it's like scuffed to shit or it's like bent and it makes me feel so good. Like, oh, they're really
It's
using
fucked
this
up.
tool. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like, because then I know like, oh, I've made it and someone has actually like it has benefited them enough
I
that
think
they're
a lot of witchcraft stuff has turned into like,
sorry.
oh shit. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, you chopped out and I didn't. I don't know whose internet's my problem, but I think it might be mine. I
I
was just
think
gonna
it's
say, I
yours too.
think that a lot of times, people will buy these really like, yeah, it probably is. People will buy like these nice aesthetic like candles with, herbs sprinkled on top and fucking the right color and the beautiful packaging. And instead of using that, it's a photo prop for social
Mm,
media. And I've literally caught myself doing that. Okay, I didn't buy it, but I was sent this little like glass vial, and it had like a cork in the top because that's the coolest fucking kind, and it has matches in it,
hmm
and it's got this cute ass little label and stuff. And I was like, this is so cute. I had it on my altar, and I did used up, and then I'm not gonna have it. Jesus Christ, what did I do? This is going to get used up and I'm not going to have it anymore. But I'm like, that's the point of this. Like, I'm supposed to be using it. Like, I could put more matches in there. I don't know why I'm being fucking weird about it. I literally put that shit in photos. Like, there's at least one photo that has that thing in there that I had not used a single one from. Like, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, so
Yeah. Sometimes I
since
catch
I'm,
myself doing shit. I'm like, you gotta.
oh, I do that too.
It's
Yeah. I'm an artist. I like beautiful things. I like, you know, I like staging photographs. It's what I went to school for. Like, you know, so I do that stuff all the time too. But remembering to then use it, yeah, that's like an important part. Like, I have 2 skull candles right now on my ancestor altar from Pandora. You know Pandora. She makes those amazing like spirit boards. Um, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they look so nice as a decoration, which is fine, but like I should use them. You know, I should use them for something, right? So,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it's hard. Um, yeah. So, I mean, I think I don't think that's just a witch problem, though. At least, like, we're not alone, like, in the whole consumerism trap. So, like, that makes me feel a little bit better. It's something all humans. My my worst thing is like buying books and not reading them. Like, I'm not a. I am a reader, but I'm not a reader. I'm a book buyer. You know, so like I'm not after these 3, like, which I actually will read. I'm not allowed to buy any more books. Like, I'm cutting myself off, you know, because like I'm not using them. I'm just excited to get them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a horrible thing for an author to say. Please buy my books.
I used to be like that. I would buy so many books
Sorry, I interrupted you.
and actually read them.
Yeah, read them, but also
I
buy
don't remember
them.
what I was saying. It was just fucking useless bullshit, probably, but yeah, buy them and read them. You got to do both.
Yeah, yeah, they will help you. They're good
But
books.
yeah, so you know what? I feel like our chat here has made me kind of, yeah, it's kind of made me like put some add some more things into what I'm trying to do with this last like half of my year and a day practice before I initiate. Which, first of all, I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do for my fucking initiation. I was thinking at the beginning of it, I thought about it, and actually has not occurred to me since. I mean, I'll probably like invite my spirits. Like something about that though makes me feel like a little kid with a tea, like with a toy tea set, sitting stuffed animals around the little table. You know what I mean? Like, is that what this is about to be? I don't know, but it's yeah. So I need to think about that. I want to continue my stuff of like, sorry, I just read a comment. I have to ask myself, am I prepared to be traumatized when I open up Instagram? Yeah. I want to get back to doing some of the things, even if they were fucking weird things that I used to do. Probably get rid of weird shame surrounding things, because like there's even bullshit that I've been doing that I did not mention on this chat, and I did mention the fucking shit posting page, so that's how you know how bad it actually is. But like, yeah, seeing you got goals and stuff. I'm just over here fucking partying hardy, like doing I don't even fucking know what. Like, I don't want to put so many parameters on myself that I feel like I can't just wander around and do what I want to do, but also like the wandering's not always getting me somewhere. So
Yeah, like just walking in a circle instead of maybe that's why you don't cast circles. You're like just doing it every day. But yeah, like walking in a circle instead of like to a destination. Yeah.
yeah.
Balance. Yeah, balance. That's a balance thing, right? I was going to ask, are you going to so if you're inviting deities, are you going to invite I'm going to call her our patron deity because like I don't want to use the other term in public. Are you going to invite, you know who to your initiation? What, did I disappear? Am I gone again?
You disappeared. Wait, am I inviting what to my initiation? I'm
Our
scared what
like
you're asking.
our our patron deity,
Oh,
you know, the one that me and you.
Get out of here. Okay,
Yeah.
no, yeah. I was planning on fucking not, but
I think you're
I might be in trouble if I do don't.
Yeah,
I
I
have
don't
to,
know
but
why
I'm scared.
that popped into my
I'm doing
head.
that.
Like, well, it, you know, sh- she told me because she knows you don't fucking listen, I guess. So I had to tell you on live stream.
So there's evidence and like witnesses. You know what though? I think okay, Claire and I have a deity or spirit or some kind of thing that appeared to us and we work with, and we have learned how fucking stupid we are trying to work with this thing. It wants something from us and we're not even sure what it is, or if we have an idea, like it's just always wrong.
Yeah. Or we'll get like
Yeah.
a big.
Are you? You know what though? I think that was
Am I going to invite her? Yeah, definitely. But like I'm also way more open to this spirit than you're very resistant, and I don't know why. Um, but yeah, like that was a given for me personally, and I think the reason it popped into my head
Bucky
was
tapped
because
out.
my back. So annoying. Is it my internet? Am I back now?
I don't see myself freezing, but I see you freezing. Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Okay, so before all that shit started, you said you were starting to answer if you were inviting her to
Mm-hmm.
your initiation.
Yes. And I always was going to because I'm more receptive to her than you are, I think. You're very resistant. I don't know why. Like she's not going anywhere. And like I think that's why it like popped into my
I'm
head. It
like
was
that.
like she knows I'm planning to, so like I'm supposed to tell you like hey, if you don't, you might get some sort of shit, you know. Just
Do it, or I'm gonna be.
yeah, just do it. Um
Yeah, I gotta, but like I don't want to.
you know, like this spirit.
I just like my smaller spirits, and whenever she's big and scary, she needs to go away. I don't know how to help you.
You know, like today now something's gonna happen that's gonna be like a very clear sign of like, hey, smartass kind of thing. Like pay attention, kind of like she's not going away. So get on board kind of thing. Yeah. Like the fact that I even brought it up on live stream says
I
to
don't
me
want her to be
like,
thinking it's like in her honor or something.
but isn't it?
I
Isn't
have to now.
everything is like when I look back to like even the starting
I'm
of the
sure I
three.
would have.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she orchestrated this whole thing anyway. So
Maybe what she wants isn't awful. I
it's
was
not,
gonna say it, whether she's invited or not, she's gonna be watching it like you stupid
yeah.
bitch.
And it's not even that what she asks is awful. It's more that Cody and I and our other friend Tim, who definitely did not watch this, so yeah, he's like our other best friend, I guess. I guess he is. um, it's not that what she asks is awful. It's that we're too stupid to figure out what she's asking. And it's been going on for years now where we still have figured out nothing. Yeah. It like, so
Like maybe she
honestly, like,
wants this. It's fucking long.
I think honestly that like she orchestrated the whole year and a day thing. Like, I really think that because we are so stupid that we have to relearn how to function as like witches. Like, you know? She definitely,
Maybe these
yeah.
people would do a better job if they paid attention, if they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, she definitely put her money on the wrong humans, for like whatever it is she wants. Like, yeah, really dumb. I don't. Has anyone else like had a deity like
Yeah.
that? Like, where they?
Like, okay, so
What were you? Sorry, I feel like I'm lagging so much, but I think it's your internet.
what? Am I freezing and stuff? I can't, like, to me, it doesn't look like I'm freezing. Or is my,
No,
like,
you're
audio cutting out and stuff?
no, not like in any detrimental way. It's just like a delay. So I keep interrupting you.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, no. Well, no. I keep doing that because I think it's like, I didn't realize it's frozen, so I thought you were done. So I start talking, and then, but you were still going. It just hadn't, like, so you're going to do some kind of thing for your initiation
Mhm.
with, like willow trees, like kind of with chamomile, right? And where you used to do your little chamomile rituals, or
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to go to that spot. But also like it's a public park because I, don't have anywhere outside that I can do stuff like on my own that has willow trees anyway. So I have to go like super early. Like I'm thinking like 4 a.m. because so no one
yeah.
will see me or else that's like really embarrassing. Yeah. Oh. What?
Oh my god. So I don't even know what direction to go with my like what? I don't even know what direction to go with my initiation. Like literally, I lit a candle and just like whispered to myself in my bedroom that I was gonna be a witch now. Like I have no basis like that. That's not really something I could build like a more complex, mature initiation on. Really, so I don't really know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do mine in my bedroom in the dark, crouch like Gollum, so nobody fucking sees me, fucking doing my thing. I don't know, man. You know what? Maybe I'll just make something up in the moment.
I mean, that is kind of your thing.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. But I mean, I don't even know why I'm worried about it.
it's
Actually, I do
in,
because you're prepared and I'm fucking not. That's why I'm worried about it.
I'm not prepared. It's more that like my brain wants to rush to the end. So like even though I know what I want to do, like I still have to get there too, you know. And then knowing me, I'll get there and I'll forget it's like the day. Did either of us even write down the day?
Yeah,
Like I know we had a conversation where we like accounted for the leap day and everything. So like I know the day, but did either of us think like, hey, we should write down when it ends? The the
yeah.
300. Yeah.
When is this over? It's like 5 years from now. I did write it down though. I did write it down. I've been trying to do better journaling because since I actually started this 366 day thing, I've been thinking to myself, like, I wish I had written down some of the things I was doing or like when I did them or what was going on. So okay, well, I haven't written them like a month in there, but I did write that down. I've been writing some stuff. So I do have the
Okay.
date.
Okay, that's good. Um,
So yeah, it was like February.
okay. Yeah, isn't it like the day after a full moon, if I'm remembering correctly? That it ends?
All I remember is we talked about waiting until what? I don't know. We talked about waiting until the first day of spring, but that was like a month away or something, and we didn't feel
Oh
like
yeah,
doing it, so both of us were like, never mind, we'll just start it now. That's literally the only thing that I remember. I don't know moon phase or anything, but
right.
which was the thing that I wanted to work on, is like paying attention to the moon phase and like doing things based on it, which I have actually not done. So,
well, then maybe that should be your goal for the next quarter. Just a thought.
it's okay. Sometimes if something strikes me, I have to do it right then.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I wait like a week until the right moon phase or something, I'm not going to feel like doing it by then.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be that like you wait for the right moon phase, but what can you do instead to make up for that missing component or that like missing energy, right? Like, because I don't always like waiting either. So, if I want to do something, but it's better suited for a waning moon, but it's the waxing moon, what can I add that brings that waning energy? So then I can do it right in the moment. But I guess it does kind of complicate.
Yeah, I guess
things.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, Luna's tomorrow. What are you doing for that?
I've like, it's gonna make me sound like the world's biggest hypocrite. I posted like all the things that I made and like put together for the Sabbath on Instagram. So part of me is like, oh, it's finished already. But I definitely going to like do a ritual. I know that. And I'm also planning on like baking these blueberry like tart things that I like, because to me, baking is such a big part of it. But I actually going to do the baking, instead of just looking at pictures of baking. And then like I made these heather dressed candles
Well,
that
I'm just gonna
I'm
look at
going.
pictures.
I'm
You better post your little tarts or whatever. I will be looking at your picture instead of doing anything.
No, I'm gonna block you and then post them.
Wait, full moon tonight? What? You can block me and post? Fine, I'll just look at some on Pinterest. Fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that we timed this catch-up live stream for the right time. Like, I don't think we did it on purpose, but it worked out that way. Like, because it is a harvest Sabbath, right? So, like, what have we accomplished? And according to this live stream, we've accomplished not much, and we don't have very clear ideas about where we're going.
Freaking damn. Yeah.
Oh no.
I think that year and a day practices are like fucking studies are always just going to be ridiculous bullshit. Is that just the nature of them? No, I've had some realizations though, I think. Okay, I haven't, but
no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Like,
to me, you're frozen right now.
Well, it's definitely your internet. Like, Colleen messaged me to say it's your internet. Just so I feel redemption.
Well,
so
I hope it's not bad. I hope it's okay to watch.
No, I don't think it's bad. It just, like I said, when we were starting it, it looks like I'm streaming from 2024 and that you're streaming from 2004,
I already told you that I am. It's the best technology at the time.
Yeah. It's okay. Honestly, like,
I already told you this is like a $200 laptop. It's like one of those mini ones that doesn't even have like the little number her thing on it. I can't use my phone because I don't even know why. It just doesn't let me. So. Which is also like a 12-year-old Android. So
oh man.
fuck it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so are
I'm
you
trying to ask myself at this point, how do you realize that you haven't. What's that?
No, go ahead.
I have no idea. Oh, I was thinking to myself, trying to think to myself, like, what have I really done? Like, I've cut a bunch of practices. I've, worked more on like protections and cleansing and shit, also because of one fucking incident. But like I are my foundations being fixed? Maybe, because for me, I think a lot. Okay, here's the worst thing out of all of this. I actually have done a bunch of stuff different, but it doesn't look any different from the outside. I don't think. Like,
Right.
I don't know if my practice looks any different. Like, my altar still has the same shit on it. Like, I don't know if you can see it. I've got all my same crap. It looks like I'm doing the same shit every day that I was already doing, but like inside my brain, it's different. If that makes any sense. So if I come to new conclusions or change my perspective on things, maybe that's really the best I can hope for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a.
Oh, Kendra, are you leaving? Thanks for chat. Sorry, it was chatty today. No, and we're just sitting here rambling at this point, but
yeah, that's everything
trying to
we
think
do
of a conclusion,
together.
but I don't have a good one because I realize how much we've done. I know it.
Yeah.
Like, does your practice look different on the outside? Because I feel like everything. Because when we first started this, I like took everything off my altar. I redid it. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm here. Hang on. So you can kind of see one of them. I've got a few, but that's one of them back there. And I've been like keeping up with and maintaining it, other than the chamomile dying period of 2 weeks, which I had really fallen off. Like, my ancestor altar is always taken care of, but like my other like working ones were kind of being neglected. So I've been kept up with that. So I think from the outside that does look different. Like that, like the consistency. But I guess for like an observer, I'd say, I don't know if any of my patrons are still in here, but I think they would say that like I'm from the outside maybe a little bit different, because I'm like, making more tools that are not cards, like the spell oils and powders and things. So I think they would say that's different from the outside. But I guess, like, in terms of social media and stuff, or like people who I interact with like in real life, which is no one except Dave, no, it wouldn't look that different. But I think it does.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, my altar's just basically back to its old shit.
Just keep since we have a delay, keep talking and just assume that like I have not.
You're frozen to me here.
It's okay. Just keep talking, and if I start to interrupt you, just keep talking. Yeah, like, don't stop.
No. No, it's The changes are like more internal for me, and I think that's always like my witchcraft is always just it's always more internal. Like, I'm sitting there with a candle, right? If I'm sitting there staring at a candle one night, like in a little fucking salt lamp thing, that's a thing a lot, but inside my brain I'm doing something different than I used to. Yeah.
Um,
I'm hoping that this is just. I sit here and we joke that we haven't really done or learned anything, but yeah, I think the perspective shift is a lot, and I started fucking inner child work, which I shouldn't have done at this point.
yeah. It is maybe like it's not stuff that we can like tangibly share necessarily, like um this is a weird thing to say doing a live stream about it, but like we can, there's only so much that like people who aren't with us every day can like witness about our practices. So like, I mean, maybe people come here and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to see all these big updates, but it's really just us being total idiots, like laughing about stupid stuff. But there actually has been like big changes. It's just not noticeable, or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I did realize, but it's kind of been.
what?
I interrupted.
No, I was done.
So I think I interrupted you. Oh, I I've been thinking about some of this stuff, like just the amount of shit that I have and like versus what I actually use. And I've been getting like my last couple videos on this channel even have been de-influencing people from my favorite mass market decks, um, decks that I want to get rid of. Um, I might do a kind of a couple part series of like going through decks and getting rid of some. I just I have so much shit, and it's really occurred to me. Okay, this is gonna. Here's something I learned. I had my pendulum out. Well, okay, I have several. I have some nice ones. I have some ones that I've made with like nice ass materials that I kept for myself instead of putting in my shop or like things like that. But ultimately, the number one pendulum that I use is a smoky quartz one. It was the first one I ever got, and the very like point of it is chipped off. That's every time I need a pendulum, I don't ever reach for any of the other ones. It's that fucking one. Well, wait, no. Did you send me a copper one time that's like heavy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you might have. Okay, occasionally I do use that one, but for the most part, the only pendulum that I ever reach for is that one. And I was telling Tyler about my husband about that, probably a month or so ago, and I was like, why do I always use this one? Like, I have four tiny like I have one that was probably like $45 for a fucking pendulum. Like it, I'll tell you right now, it's not worth that shit. I mean, it wasn't handmade, didn't have anything going on. You know what I mean? It was machine cut. It was fucking super glued, the little chain on top of there. And I was like, why do I always use this one when this one's fucked up? Like this one's chipped. And he's sitting there for a couple minutes, and like finally he was just like, I think you like it because it's fucked up. And I sat with that for a couple minutes. I was like, you know what? I think he's right. And it made me feel like I got to get rid of a bunch of shit because, like, why am I sitting here with fucking 15 pendulums that I don't touch? Like, what am I doing with that? And the decks, I have decks that I bought because I want to act like I'm immune to, like, the fucking FOMO of it all. But sometimes I'll see a deck, I'll be like, hell yeah, a bunch of people are into this. I want this deck too. But the decks that I use just really aren't, it's not that many. You were talking about decks that you used earlier, right? You've been using yours more. You've been using Fairies and Weaver's Oracle. And what was the other one? Witch Sister or something that you had mentioned. And like, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of decks. Like I have a bunch of I have like this bizarre collection of incense holders, like the little thingies, the little rectangle ones. There's still only one that I fucking use, and it's the one that I got as a child. It has wax got spilled on it, and I tried to like scrape it off, but there's still like the little kind of like spot of it on there you can see. It's got fucking incense ash in like the little carvings that you can't get out anymore. And I think I like it because of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I've just been approaching maybe really different. And also I like to think that I'm mysterious and unknown, but my husband was literally just like, yeah, you definitely just like it because it's fucked up. And That, like,
Yeah. Well, so the incense holder and pendulum that I use the most are both from you. So that's interesting. But yeah, I'm like not I think I'm like really paring down what I use in general. Yeah. Um
yeah,
yeah, it's like honestly, like I open my tarot cabinet and like there are some that I'll never get rid of because like they're from friends or I love them or I do use them sometimes, but like I have not, other than Witch Sister, I've not bought a
yeah,
deck in forever. Like I just yeah, um I just haven't been. I don't know why. I just
yeah.
yeah. Um oh, trying to think if there's anything. Should we like ask if should we ask? Do you think we should like see if anyone wants to ask anything? Since like what are we at? We're at like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Well, we're at 2 hours ish. Um
Holy shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone even still here? Just us? Like everyone's gone.
So I guess we could kind of wrap it up, but I don't really know. Yeah. No, there's still people here, so people here. Um, though, overall, I'm really glad that we did this. Like, it's led to some fuckery, but I think that it's kind of put me in a better place as far as like how I'm viewing my practice and what I'm trying to accomplish with it, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, there's a like an accountability, I think, when we do these videos, like for ourselves, like, oh well, we better think now about what we did, and like it just kind of makes us like because we'll talk about it with our like each other, in our group chat, but like
Yeah.
that goes so quickly and like we move on to other things like so quickly that they kind of get like
Yeah.
forgotten. So I think these kind of hold us accountable. Also, like, oh, are we having fun with Tegan wants to know if we're having fun with this. Yes. Yes. I most of the time. Like I don't think anything is ever 100% fun all the time. And like me and Tegan have talked about some of this stuff too, like just like what does make us feel happy lately. So I'd say this is something that does make me happy. It like the excitement and the newness of it. It's like you get to discover witchcraft all over again. It's exciting. Um, and you get to discover it as an adult,
Yeah.
which I like as well because, you know, I'd say because you're not so stupid like as you are as a kid, but I mean, I don't think I'm much smarter. I just have more situational awareness. I
Yeah.
missed. Oh, there you are.
I am definitely still having fun, but it's like the fun when you're a kid and you're first when you're a kid and you're first like learning the stuff, all of it's new. So it's all like this magical wonderland of things you didn't know. And now that you've kind of dabbled in a little bit of most of it, it loses that a lot. So I don't like just you got to approach things with wonder or something. I think that's what I've been trying to recapture, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. It makes sense to me. Mm, I have a question for people watching. Um, so I'd say probably the older people, like if you're maybe 30 and older, 35 and older, you probably know about a year and a day and like the 366 because it was like a Wicca was the thing. So it's like originally a Wiccan kind of practice. But the people who haven't heard of it has, I don't want to say have me and Cody inspired you to try it for yourself, but like, is it something that that like if you go based on me and Cody, like you're probably like, fuck no, you are all crazy. Like, does it make you want
The
to?
opposite of inspiring.
Yeah. But does it make you want to try it or like that's the thing about like work, right? Like it's a year and a day. It's not a short amount of time. And I think we live in a world that is so much about instant results, right? Like, which we talked about, well, over and over, but does it make you want to try it? Kendra says that she's going through a reconnection journey in her 50s. See, like that, yeah, like it. Do you feel like you get the excitement from it too? Or does it make you want to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever I'm trying to, I like went off on a tangent, but yeah, that's my question to the people watching.
To do it than whatever the fuck we've been doing, but
Yeah, don't.
like, everyone's like, no, why would we do this? We stay here for 2 hours and we're like, we haven't learned shit. Are you guys inspired? You know, sometimes you see someone do something wrong and it makes you want to do it so you can do it right, though, you know? Maybe it's that. Did it a few times, in and out of a coven. It's like a reset for me. It makes you discover more of why we do the things we do. Okay, you know what? No, I'm that. Thank you, Kendra. This is defending my shit. I think that is true. And I will probably do this more than once again in my life because I did it as a kid and then I stopped doing it when I like. I've had like little breaks here and there where I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting anywhere with this. Am I wasting my fucking life? And then I end up kind of, like you said, Kendra, reconnecting. And then I feel like I'm better for it. So I don't know. This doesn't look useful on the outside, maybe, but like inside, I feel like this has helped me. Do it with other focus. Okay, literally, Claire and I talked about plan it out, and we were like, nah. So, I mean, a smarter person might have done that, but we did not do it.
Oh, yeah, we're not.
I just thought of like 4 videos I need to make.
Tegan. Yeah. I mean, Tegan, you know, I think that you should, and you do have your own version of that you do, which I admire. Tegan's really good at like evaluating what's working and what's not. Like, yeah. Oh, and comments are delayed. Don't worry, Cody and I are delayed as well. It's a struggle. Like I'll say something and she'll laugh like 2 minutes later because the delay.
Well, some of it I think you're just like still pictures, like doing things, then all of a sudden the audio will like come on really quick. Fucking internet, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that our year in a day was a good
idea. Oh, you know what? We talk about doing the like Memento Mori curation live because I'm sure that will be a shit show too. that we were going to do. I'd have to send you cards.
That's going to be a 6-hour live stream because, yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't need all the work. Okay. What we're talking about is Claire's made a deck called the Memento Mori Oracle. And there's been like a base deck that has like Lenormand cards in it that I ignore, the Lenormand part of it. And then there have been, what do you call them? Expansions, right? I can think it was booster packs, but I think that's like Pokemon cards. But, and then you can add them in and there's Patreon cards and things, right? Explain your deck.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. I made an Oracle deck that's 85 cards, but because I am constantly inspired, I like to make new cards. So I made those cards available to the public. And so it's like, I don't even know how many there are like now, maybe over 200 cards. So sometimes you can't always work with the whole deck because it's too big and there's too many different like themes going on. And so a lot of the time myself and other people will like curate smaller versions of them for like specific tasks or like types of readings and stuff. So Cody and I are going to do a live where we curate the deck down to like something. I think like, do you know what theme you're gonna do for that? Because I have an idea, but like, do you want to do it like 366 themed?
Okay. We spent like hours. Wait, what?
Go ahead.
I don't know how to begin. We had a whole conversation in our chat where I was freaking out to go through the cards and I asked 10,000 questions about every card. And do you know what? After like 2 hours of that, I just shuffled them all back in and gave up. So I still have the monster fucking deck. It's a good thing I spent time doing that.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll do it over a live and then like, so people can see. I think it'll be helpful for people to see like what ways they can work with the deck. You included, I guess, since, you know, yeah, it's a bit of a beast. Like it has taken on a life of its own, this deck. It just kind of tells me what cards to make and I make them. And that's just, it runs things now. So, yeah.
Okay, see, so who am I to take some out and be like, you don't need this one? So I gotta keep them all in. But yeah, that's a problem for another time. We will do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, I mean, I don't have anything more to say, but if anyone wants to ask something before, you know, before we end, now is your chance. Like no one, they're all gone.
There's still people here.
No, so. I think they've just like walked away.
They're not. There's still people. Just let the shit play in the background. Yeah. Muted it.
I think so. I think we should do a like a next quarter check-in, but I think we actually need to like plan it instead of you messaging me yesterday and being like, shit, it's Tuesday. Should we do this tomorrow? What do you think?
Wait, what? No. Okay. Don't even start. I asked you on like Friday. I just didn't do shit to anything for like until yesterday. So, you know what? Don't even bad warning, okay?
Okay,
no, but okay, so I don't even know. What?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
I just said I don't know if this was even helpful.
I don't think so. Well, for us, it was. I think for other people, it
For us,
wasn't.
it was. Yeah, I don't know if anyone watching it is probably like, "What the hell was that?" We're like, "This is not going to be. This is not going to be 3 hours, and it's 3 hours." And we're like, "Anyway."
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a little more
Okay.
trust in yourself and what you're talking about. It was interesting. All right. Well,
I'm.
yeah, I need to get my journaling going back a little more steady because I started out writing down things that I was doing different, and I haven't. So yeah, quarter keeps us a little more accountable, I think. I also have a whole nother video that I have to make that is kind of connected to this one. I'll tell you about it in chat because I'm not about to say it right here, but okay, so I guess we'll. Oh shit! It was my internet that was bad. Fuck! I knew it. Don't live someplace rural if you don't fucking have to. Okay, don't do it. Okay, so I guess we'll just get off now. Thanks for watching. Bye.